Hi, this is Susan Riley, and I am so excited that you're here. Let me just ask you a quick question. Have you ever struggled with the concept of, and the statement of, I am worth it? Well, if you have ever had that come up and you've struggled and figured out how to find peace with that, I want you to stick around today, because in this video we are going to go over just some of the underlying reasons. That I'm going to share with you 2 areas where that might be something that is in there. Hi, Barbara. And I am excited you guys are here to go with it. So let's just kind of start off with the idea of worth. Where do we get that kind of concept? And let's just start with just some basic things. Let's start with our definition. So I went and looked it up in the dictionary, and I made notes, so I'm going to read them to you. First of all, if you look at worth as a noun, then you're talking about it's the quality of something that makes it desirable, useful, or valuable. Or it's a quality within one that renders one discerning or deserving of respect. But as an adjective for worth means deserving of worth. And that's probably where I think, without us really ever having a time to sit down and look and take this apart as to what that kind of means in our lives, we've had this underlying attitude of what we think that is. And I don't know about you guys, but for quite a bit in my life, if I suffered from a lot of, well, I'm not worthy of it. I don't deserve. Something good would come along and be like, yeah. Or I would really want something good to happen in my life, but yeah, I don't really deserve that. I'm not worthy of something that good happening in my life. Maybe mediocre, but not something that I was worthy of. So, where's this struggle? Why are we struggling? Because it's the sense of value. Why do we view ourselves of so little value? That's the question that I had to come up with. I kept coming around to. And it's like, why did I do that? Why do you do that? Is it easy for you to think that your parents or your brothers or sisters or your boss or your coworker or your friends, somebody else, anybody else almost, is, yeah, well, they're valuable, they have worth, they have something to offer, but me, I don't see myself as having anything of value. And so your first point today that I want to challenge you on, I want to just share with you, is the part that I learned, and for me it kind of started there, is some acceptance to the fact and the truth that I have value, that I, just as a human being created in the image and likeness of the Creator, I have value. No, I didn't, cure any big disease. No, I didn't invent something that makes everybody's life easier. No, but just in the fact that I am a human being and created in the image and the likeness of God, I have value. And so infinite is His creation plan, His blueprints, that He made me and He made you completely unique. There's not another one like you. There's not another person that has your fingerprints, that's got your irises. Your iris is another place where you can see, it's just like a fingerprint. They're very, very different. So you're not going to have anything so you are a masterpiece, just in the fact that you're alive. You're alive and you're breathing. You'd think that would be enough to value, wouldn't it? But we don't value life anymore. Most people, fewer and fewer people value life and think that that's anything of any significance. And I got raised just as the first interactions are with my family, and those dynamics was the only thing that had worth, if you had, that could show that you had value, is what could you do, what could you do for me, what could you do for my, my mom said, what could you be doing? And if you didn't have anything that you could be doing or contributing, then you didn't have value or worth. So it was easy to kind of look around, especially as you're a child. You're still learning and growing so much. You're here to figure out how things work, why they work, and I pray that you're able to keep the wonder and curiosity and the joy of just getting to see things for what they are, and enjoying even every spring, when spring comes, after winter, after everything does take a rest. And then spring comes up and things start to come alive again. The leaves come out, those first leaves. And even the sense of a flower coming out every spring. That wonder of creation, something new. Those, they're not doing cartwheels. They're not doing anything extra or some special so that then they can be of worth, if they have value. They are just being. And just by the fact of their being is something to celebrate and delight and enjoy it. But I had a hard time translating that into myself, that I am allowed to just be. So I had to learn some hard things on how to accept myself. I had gotten just so much of my life had gotten, like I was saying before, performance. If I could do this, if I could get the good grades, or if I could figure something out, if I could learn to cook or learn to sew, or learn, if I could do something, then I would be. And it was only related in those terms. And the sad thing is that when you do that, your reference point is always just whoever is around you. And so because you're around different people, you're different friends, different school. I tried really hard. I got mostly, I did well in school. But whatever that was, I would push hard to excel at that. But then was I ever getting comfortable enough to just say, I am okay who I am, where I am, what I am? I can't say that that's true. That's why a lot of us try to change ourselves so much. We haven't learned to just accept ourselves, and it's okay to be who we are. So I want to challenge you today. The first tip is learn to accept yourself. Okay? And if you hear that critical voice still on the inside, just sit down sometimes and write it down. Write down what the voice is saying. Just write down, and then you can take a look at it. I want you on the left-hand side of the page. I want you to sit down and write down. Make 2 columns. On the left side, I want you to write down the things that are truths. The fact that you are, just by the fact of being created, of value and worth, and that you're created to be just exactly who you are. And then and sit down. Then on the right hand side, write down those comments that you keep hearing in your voice, in your inside, that are saying those things. So that'll give us something to sit there and look at, because we're going to end up answering those voices. Because until I could get some acceptance of the fact that me being was just enough, it is just enough for me, it made it hard for the second part of the acceptance, which is responsibility. And when I first learned that I am responsible for how my life has turned out, I did not want to hear it. Not at all. I had spent so much of my life always trying to jump through hoops for somebody else. So then if I was miserable, or I wasn't happy, or if things weren't working out good, it had to be that person's fault, or that person's fault, or that person. I had to be somebody else's fault, because that's who I was jumping through hoops to please them. So it had to be their fault. And in a way, I liked having somebody else to blame. I liked it, because I didn't have to sit there and take the responsibility, But when you can sit there and go, when you're tired of your life not working out, if you're tired of going around the same thing, you're being miserable, you're being lonely, you're being broke. If you like those things, then then you're on the path to keep going up. But if you get to where it's like, okay, I've had enough of that, I don't want that kind of stuff in my life anymore, then you're going to have to be willing to be brave enough to pull your big girl panties on and just take responsibility. I'm responsible for my happiness. Nobody else is. I'm not responsible for anybody else. I'm not responsible for their actions or their choices, only mine. And anything that they do, even and to the degree that it may impact me, I get to choose how much it will impact me, how much it will have control over me. I am the one that has control. I get to choose how I will respond to their behavior that may or may not have been that good to me. I get to choose. So at first I thought, no, don't take away the one responsibility. I want to blame. And as long as we had somebody else's responsibility, then I always had somebody else to blame. So when I had to sit there and go, nope, it's all right here, the buck's going to stop here, terrified me at first. But then I saw the other side of the coin. Wow. That means then nobody else can stop me, slow me down, or make my life miserable. I get to choose those things. And if I'm the one that's in control of that, then I choose not to be miserable. And I can separate myself from situations or people that are always making me having to choose that negative. I can give some space to that, so I can have some space in my life, and I can choose to add things in my life that add joy, that add hope, that add learning, that still have that curious wonderness of, for me, spring. I know some of you guys like fall and some others like winter, but I love spring and just seeing new life come in again, because there's always a season in your life where new things are coming in your life. So I really, really enjoy that. So hold yourselves in high worth. So along with that, the second point, the tip that we just have time today I wanted to go over is just permission. Is once you can accept that it's possible that you have worth, not intrinsically just because of what you've done, but just because of who you are, and that you're created and you're unique and special, and there isn't another one like you. Just let that sink that in. We'll hear that again. You are unique and special and valuable just for being you. My second tip, my point is just that give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to be free from guilt. Give yourself permission to be free from shame. Give yourself permission to be alive. You have great value and you are of great worth. And I want you to live in it every single day. Okay. That's all the time. I'm going to break this up, and I'm going to speak again on this next week. But if you have gotten something out of something that spoke to you about this, I would really tell me in the comments, what was your number one takeaway? Okay? And if you did have a question, like, write it in the comments, because I take the time to read every single one. So I love you, and you are worth it. And I'll see you guys next week. Okay? Bye.